Mahila. Basically, the relationship of Casey Affleck and Scott Conn in Ocean's 11, the balloons scene, can be related to Pergamus and Antipas. And then the T-101 getting kind of beat up by John Connor in T2 Judgment Day as he's going to destroy the chip can be related to Pergamus Antipas. And then the relationship of Catherine Zeta-Jones and Brad Pitt in Ocean's 12 can be related to Pergamus Antipas. And basically the whole Fast and the Furious movie, the first one, even with the keys at the end, of the bottomless pit and everything, can be related to Pergamus Antipas. And just wanted to kind of go over those. I mean, I really relate to Ocean's 13 a lot because I used to watch that a lot in 2016, 2017. Like with meals and stuff, I'd watch it, and I figured out the 26-minute mark, kind of like the Bach tune of the Mayans. And I think that they kind of go about it a little differently in that one. They don't have the girls, but it's like Ruben for them kind of represents like that, like he's like the love in that film, and they go about it a little differently, but it'll all work out. It's gonna work out. I know it'll work out. And you know I'm not worried. Don't worry about any Gone Girl stuff. That's why I just said what I said. That's what I mean. Like that's basically my story. They show it in those films. Um, and it's nothing to be as scared of or anything. And all of that is done. And I believe in Isaiah 51, and I'll take it to my grave. I mean, they even tried to come after that when they stormed the Capitol. And if you look at my videos at that time, I was saying almost every day, I was like, man, it just feels like they've put me back under that. Like they've put me back under the feet of the street. And God got me through. They stormed the Capitol, and now people are getting sent away for that, and Trump is not the president. But they were really trying. They were really trying to keep him in. Really, I mean, it was crazy what they were doing. And I'm not saying Joe Biden is any better. I mean, now we're having all these attacks on the people. It's like the 70s or something. All these shootings every day. So I'm keeping faith, man. I'm not worried. If this is a knee for me, well, we've had a good run. I'm not worried. I think Ned Beatty, when he died, I think that was a big sign. That it was set in a way. It was Ezekiel 17 in a way. So anything that would have happened after that would have, not that it doesn't count, but like it's like that's why death is a horseman, because the death counts. Like that build up and that symbolism, like only Jesus and God can bring people, back from the dead, and a few others in the Bible. Like that's biblical stuff. Like and if it happens, it most likely makes the news. Like there's a reason for it. Like, but when it's dead, it's done. Like that's it happened. So you can't really worry about it. But he also has some horrible symbolism. Just in it's grotesque. And makes you feel in a certain way, and that nothing like that happened on that day or anything. But that was his cutoff or something like that. That showed he might have been the precursor to Hayden Christensen. Hayden Christensen was a 472. He basically started the fours. And maybe Ned Beatty was a precursor to that or something. Like they showed in that film, like, oh, this is what's coming. Like, because there's no Michael. Like he's turned evil or something. Like, does that make sense? Like you have to think about it. Like, yes, the Bible is true, but if people didn't do their parts and went bad, then like it's going to go down a little differently. Then you get into the coding, and Paul Walker was big on the coding. He studied and went over it. So, and I do believe that Paul Walker was Daniel in the Bible, and he's the 47. He's the Bethlehem Ephrata. He kind of traded that back and forth with Kevin J. O'Connor. But so yeah, don't worry. It's all good either way. If I went down today, it's gonna be okay. Don't worry. You know. I mean, we had some really tricky stuff going on, and um, it's okay. Like it's not a big deal. It's not a fault on anyone's end. It's not the girl's fault. Okay, it's not the woman's fault, and um, you know the people responsible, they you know look like I don't you know I don't want to say anything, but you know what the story is. Okay, so don't worry. And all right, so all right, I'll get off here. Have a good night, and thank you.